Hello friends, I hope you're well. So in this video, we're going to show you a very simple tactic. This is a very short-term pool that we're going to be entering in terms of we're not going to be in it too long, and it's a very small bin step. So we've got a bin step of 10 and 10% fee, which isn't a huge amount. So if we go to add liquidity, what we've got is a 3% each way. So if the token moves 3%, we'll be out of range very quickly. And that's not something we want to be doing. So what I tend to do to maximize my profits is we're going to do a $5,000 deposit of just USDC, and we're going to use a curve. Now, what this does is it concentrates the liquidity mainly around the top side. And what we want is the token to kind of just bounce a little bit and then jump back up. And then we just take our profits. It's nothing like we're going to be holding it for hours or anything like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm either going to watch it or I'm going to quickly just deposit it. And I'm going to show you why it's so low risk when you actually do this. So we've got our 0.05 Solana. I think we might have just jumped up in range, so we might need to take this out. However, once it deposits, we should enter in a reasonably decent position. Now, in terms of it being low risk, is we only have $5,000 in there. We haven't bought the token itself. We don't need to buy the token itself. So what we've got is $5,000 in there. And once we refresh it, it will stay at $5,000 even if it goes up. Yeah, so we've got our $5,000 USDC. No Trump, we didn't buy anything, and we're out of bin step. So we're going to wait for it to fall out and then back in. Now, for example, it might start going and rising and rising and rising. In that case, all you need to do is just withdraw it again, like so, and then wait for a better position and go in. There's nothing bad about it. You lose maybe a cent in gas or something like that. I've got a very low gas set on. But in terms of it itself, we're going to go back to add position. We're going to go to curve and we're going to go $5,000 again. Now, this is extremely boring, but if you catch it correctly, you can get a very, very nice scalp on this. And I'm putting $5,000. If it drops more than 6%, I'll probably be taking it out anyway. I won't be saying, and I'll just sell it back to USDC and I'll probably lose a little bit. It can always jump back in into range as well. Now, the volume isn't fantastically high at the moment, but what we're hoping for is a little drop down to here and then back up. So it's not really anything that I'm saying, oh, I hope it really goes really high or really low. It's a very short term position, and fingers crossed, we're already in our little range here. So we've dropped down slightly, and any bit of volume now will be giving us that. You might think, oh, that's a very small amount, but it was only $100, $143 buy. So we'll just leave that for a bit. Now, what you want to do is you want to compound the fees as you're doing it as well. So I want to claim my fees here. Obviously, you'd wait for it to be a bit more than it is now. And then what I tend to do is I tend to do a bid ask one side. So what that will do is it will put in or a curve or a spot. I tend to do a bid ask with just that. So what that does is this part really concentrates the amount of Trump. You'd wait for it to fall a bit down so it can spread it out a bit better. But if the price goes to here, we'll earn a lot more in fees in USDC with that. So use this wisely. I would suggest that even if you are, in a position where you're like, okay, I really like this token, I want to hold it long term, go for 100 bin step. And what this will do is, if you're thinking, okay, I want to put $700 now into a bid ask or a curve to concentrate, what that does, it gives you a 50% drawdown. So 21 cent, which is basically it falling down all the way down to this position here, roughly. So that's quite unlikely that that's actually going to happen. But if it does, you'll be earning fees all the way down and you'll probably be break even by the time it falls. Even if it drops, like there was a huge jump there, it didn't even drop to that amount. And doing that on a 100 bin step, if you got the patience, you can absolutely do really, 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 really well with it. And let's have a little look at how we're doing. So remember, we put $5,000. I don't know why we're up. I think that's just a bug or something like that. But we're earning about 5% on this. And what I'm going to do is, like I said, I'm going to keep compounding now. So I'm just going to withdraw my Trump. 40 cents is not bad. We did put a fair bit amount, $5,000. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait for that to come in, and I'm going to put probably a bid ask again and just keep compounding as we go. What I tend to do is sometimes is I take half of it out and then I just swap it to Solana, and then the half of it I put in like that, like so. So we're earning pretty well. All I need it to do is just to jump back now, and we would have earned a few dollars in terms of our liquidity. So fingers crossed it works out well. Let's take a look at the chart. But this is a very good tactic on a sort of one-sided bid ask. You can do this with $500. You can do this with one Solana. You can do it. You don't have to do USDC. You can do a Solana pool. It's totally up to you. But I think this one earns really, really well if you can time it correctly. All the best and take care. Thanks for watching.